Welcome to Lifestyle Solopreneur, the community for entrepreneurs who put lifestyle first. Join your host, Flavia Barris, as she interviews successful lifestyle solopreneurs and shares ideas to help you find the perfect balance between lifestyle, business, and self. Flavia is an attorney, marketing expert, and founder of several online academies. She's been featured in major media, including BBC World News, The Wall Street Journal, The New York Post, ESPN Television, and more. Join us for this episode of Lifestyle Solopreneur.
Hey, Lifestyle Solopreneurs. Today we get to speak with Natalie Wynn. Natalie is a lifestyle solopreneur who went from burnout and doing all the things to building a purpose-driven business that earns her a full-time income on part-time hours. Now she helps high-achieving women shift their mindset, simplify their strategy, and create success that actually feels good. Natalie, welcome to the show. Can't wait to have this conversation with you.
I'm so excited to be here.
I always love asking solopreneurs, how did you get here? Because I think we all have different paths and journeys. Some people are sort of led forward. Other people are like pushed from behind. Others have this dream from like day one. They're like 4 years old and visualizing their future business. Others were like really secure in some kind of corporate job and never even imagined they'd become an entrepreneur. So I love asking that as kind of that first question, like, how did you get here? What's your journey?
That is such a great question. And I was just having this conversation the other day with a friend of mine. So basically, I think I was born to be an entrepreneur, solopreneur. I can remember being a little girl with my cousin in her apartment complex, and her mother, they have very limited income, and I wanted some McDonald's. We both wanted a Happy Meal and some ice cream. And we didn't have a single dollar to our name. And so I sat there and I was like, you know what? Why don't we go door to door and ask the neighbors if we can take their trash out for 50 cents? And sure enough, she was like, do you think so? I was like, absolutely. So we did that and ended up getting enough money to get the Happy Meal, ice cream, and an apple pie. And I knew then, I was like, you know what? I am going to be an entrepreneur. I'm going to be a business owner. And so that has always been within me. And I just think I've kind of lived that life. My mother would call it flighty. She would say, you're so flighty. And now today she says, you know what? You just are a creator. You create opportunities. You create businesses for wherever you are in life. And I can appreciate that so much now, because for so long, I thought that there was something wrong with me. I thought there was something wrong with me not wanting to go and work a 9-to-5 job, which there isn't anything wrong with that. It just felt so opposite to who I was internally. So that's kind of how I got started on this entrepreneur path. Later in life, after I was in college, I looked into the medical field because I was really good in science and math. And growing up, everyone says, get a job, science, math, become a doctor or become an attorney and all those things. And so for a minute there, I was following that advice and found myself later saying, this isn't what I really want to do. This doesn't feel right for me intuitively. And so I made the shift and changed my major to business. And I've been happy about that ever since.
So what are you up to now? What are you working on these days? I want to know about Inspire Life 365, because I know that is a big majority of what you're working on now. So tell us how you built that and what it is.
Yeah, so Inspire Life 365 came about because I realized that so many people were coming to me asking me about business. They had ideas, they couldn't see the big picture. And for whatever reason, I've been gifted to be able to see someone's dream from beginning to end. I can take it from very small to really big, just in my mind quickly, with processes and procedures and who you need to call and what you need to do. So I found myself, one, doing that. And then two, people coming to me, asking me questions when they were down and out. And I am a glass half full person. So one of the things I asked people was, what are 3 things that when you think of me, what do you think about? And they were like, inspiration. And the other big one was optimism. And then, of course, a boss. I won't say that, a boss bee, right? So I was like, okay,
we'll just leave it in as that, a boss
yeah,
bee.
we'll just leave it at that.
And
exactly.
I think we can all wink, wink, know where we are. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, you all know what that is. So I said, you know what? I think I know that I am really an inspiration and I want to be an inspiration. That's part of the gift and the service that I bring. So Inspire Life 365 came about because I thought, okay, not only my inspiration, I can give advice here and there, but I want to be able to help people shift their mindset because that is the biggest issue that I've found is how people see themselves, what they think they can do, and how they think they can do it. If we can get their mindset right, then that sets them up for success no matter what they choose to do on their journey. So I ventured and became a certified, took some classes, of course, became a certified master mindset coach, certified in NLP, hypnotherapy, somatic techniques, breathwork, all the things, all the things to help someone shift subconsciously so that they can be their best selves, be in balance, be in tuned with who they are, and manifest more in their life. So that's how Inspire Life 365 came about. For about 20 years now, before I went down this path, I was already doing vision board parties. I think now vision boards, people hear about them, it's more common. Then there were people I met, they were like, what is that? What is a vision board? And it started with me doing one for myself and seeing the results and inviting a couple of friends. And then it just grew. So I would have at any time about 30 to 45 ladies in my home, helping them create vision boards and walking them through how to change their mindset, what it was, helping them dream and think about all the things they've ever wanted to do and what's keeping them from that, releasing that fear, and then putting their dreams on the board. And so I realized now, back then, I was like, I was already on this path, right? I was already doing this thing. I was already being inspired by others, but also being an inspiration. I was helping people, women, change their mindset, step into their next level, change their identity to what they actually wanted to do and not what the world has told them to be. So yeah.
I love that. I absolutely love it. And speaking of mindset, you used to refer to yourself as a reformed perfectionist. So I guess what's a perfectionist? And then what is a reformed perfectionist? And how did you get there?
Yeah. So today I would say a perfectionist is, this is going to be, I feel like so hard to hear. It's hard to say and it's hard to hear that at the root of perfectionism is people pleasing and not valuing yourself. It's never good enough. And eventually I had to ask myself, why isn't it just good enough the way it is? And knowing that I can correct it or change it later on. I was so stuck for so long on everything being perfect, showing up perfect, presenting perfect, that I found that it led to a level of procrastination. Luckily for me, I am an implementer. I'm an executor. So eventually it gets done. But what I realized is that I could be getting so much done faster if I just moved past what people are going to think or what it's going to look like or how perfect it has to be. So I decided to move from perfection to progress. So now people will hear me say, it's not perfection, it's progress. Or when it's not quite right or the way that I want it to be per se, in its perfect sense, I'll stop myself and I'll say, Natalie, it's progression. Yesterday you were here. Today, you actually have something on paper. You actually have something online. You actually did the video, post it, move on. You can always correct it or change it or update later. Progress over perfection. So I am definitely a reformed perfectionist and still a work in progress every single day.
I love that. That is just so great. And you've helped so many people. I'm sure that, as someone who coaches, you tend to see patterns. What are some of the common patterns and traits or challenges or problems that you see when people come to you for help that you help them through? Or is everyone just completely unique and different and you don't see patterns?
Of course, everyone is completely unique and different. There are some similar patterns, though. What I hear the most is, I'm tired. I'm burned out. I'm tired. Everything looks good on paper, For a lot of the women and people that I've coached, it looks good on paper. They have the house, they have either the job or seemingly the business things. They have the money, maybe even coming in, but they're just unhappy. A lot of times they're not doing the thing that they actually want to do. And so we get to the root of what's keeping them from what's keeping them from stepping into their highest self. What limiting beliefs do they have that's keeping them stuck where they are? What's making them think that they have to live like this for the rest of their lives? And so that seems to be very common with a lot of the people that I coach. And the biggest thing is me showing and teaching them or coaching them that working harder doesn't necessarily equal more. That's not what that means. And so they can step into the identity, the woman who they've always seen themselves be, and still be profitable and still have purpose and shine the way that they want to, and release all of the guilt and the shame and the limiting beliefs that's been holding them back this entire time. So that's what I find to be very common with the people that I coach. And it's so freeing to see them shift, to see them release, because I'll say this, not only can you see it in their actions, there's a physical shift that you see when you're a coach. And maybe you've experienced this where your energy shifts, the color of your skin even brightens when you start to step into the identity of who you truly are and not who the world says you have to be, or who your mom or your dad or your husband's or whatever it may be has told you who you should be and what you should do. So, yeah.
I know exactly what you mean. And, I notice it in people's eyes, right? Like the eyes, they become alive and like curious and excited. And
Yes.
whereas when people are tired, there's more like downcast eyes, and you're just kind of fixated looking at one thing. And usually that one thing is somebody's phone. They're just sitting, staring down at the little teeny tiny black hole in the universe. It just sucks in your energy and your attention and your focus. But it's kind of the new normal. And so I just love when people feel activated and alive and excited. And it's sort of like optimism made flesh. It's just like this
Yes.
optimistic energy and vibe. And I'm all for it. And I love when I can really feel in that mood where it doesn't even matter. Something could even happen that's like a negative, like, I don't know, you stub a toe, and then it just doesn't matter because everything else, you just feel like, oh, okay, well, now I have, that just taught me to pay attention right here. And I don't want to break a foot. At least I only stubbed my toe. I didn't break
Exactly.
And it seems glass half full, and you roll forward, and I love it. So, and I like that you help people bring that side of them out. That's just beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, that mindset shift is really big. I love what you just said, even with the stubbing of the toe. Just knowing how to reframe is so big. And it's amazing how many people don't know how to do that or haven't been taught to do that. They would have allowed that stomping their toes, hitting their toe to set the energy for the rest of their day. Whereas there's a better way. This is just one moment in 24 hours of a day. And you can reframe it and say, oh, you know what? I need to move that. Like what you said, oh, what did I learn from this? Okay, great. Doesn't have to happen again, and keep it moving. And that is just so powerful, just even having the skill to reframe.
Amazing. So we always ask guests, we're like, what can you do just here on this episode that can offer something to listeners, something to help all of us be better, do something more? And I love that you said, hey, I can gift the audience with an abundance activation bundle. And it's just this beautiful gift from me to help out. But can you describe it? What is the abundance activation bundle? What can that do for us listeners? And how do we access it?
Yeah, so the Abundance Activation Bundle is basically some tools that I've put together to help you create a new routine, because that's so important. A morning routine is really important. So I'll walk you through how to do that. It also includes different things like EFT tapping, which is emotional freedom techniques, to help you shift whenever you are feeling anxiety, you're feeling overwhelmed, you're feeling stress, you're feeling panic. And that's an exercise that you can do. And once you learn how to use that type of tool, then you can use it for just about anything. I've used it for migraines. You can use it for pain. It's so helpful to have. I also, in that bundle, have created visualizations and meditations so that you can get into the energy of the person who you want to be, so that you can be in alignment with who you are, stepping into that next identity. So all of those tools are available. There are things like a manifestation, like how to manifest faster, using scripting.
Scripting. Tell us a little bit more about what scripting
Yeah.
would be.
And I'm so sorry, Flavia, for whatever reason, I have been having the strangest cough for the last 3 days. So if you see me kind of blank out,
No, we love you even more. We love you even more for powering through and being here with us, even if you don't feel 100%. And again, that kind of goes back to when you're living with energy and motivation and inspiration, even things like colds aren't going to make you get under the covers and stay in. You're still out there. You're still doing stuff.
Yes, I could not wait to be on the show today. But you mentioned something about scripting. So scripting is really powerful because what I teach you when you get the Abundance Activation Bundle is what scripting is and how to script. So basically speaking into existence what it is that you want. So you would write in present tense. You would feel that energy. You wouldn't just write it. You would feel it. You would be in it. You would describe it. And that energy that you're putting into your letter or whatever it is that you're writing is activating your energy. It's allowing you to vibrate at a higher frequency. And anyone who understands manifestation or understands energy knows that the higher you vibrate on those things that you want, the easier it is it's going to attract to you. Some people would say it's like you're saying to the universe, hey, it's right here. This is what I want. Come show it to me. And the universe will respond. So I show you how to do that. To me, it's a really, really powerful technique. I've used it for over 20 years. I could show you letters where I've scripted and the things that have come into fruition from just scripting and being clear, getting clear on what it is I desire and what it is that I want. So the word scripting is just like it sounds. You are scripting your life, or you're scripting whatever it is that you're wanting to bring into existence today. So I love that piece on the Abundance Activation Bundle. There are so many different things that are there. I believe there's even a subliminal meditation so that you can listen to while you're asleep at night, just programming your subconscious mind with the positive things that you want, who you want to be, how you want to behave, how you want to show up every single day. The more that our subconscious is impressed with those type of things, the easier it is for the brain to create new neural pathways obviously in our brain. So a lot of people tend to think that some of these things are just woo-woo, but many the activities that you're going to find on the bundle are science-based and science-backed. So I'm really excited for your audience to be able to download that.
That's amazing. And it's available direct at inspirelife365.com/AMB. We also always post all of our guests giveaways or freebies or useful tools at podcastguestgift.com. That's podcastguestgift.com. So that's another way that you can access this. We keep a kind of a vault, of all of because we have some really great guests on this show. And whenever anyone is able to offer something for the audience, we like to make sure that they can access it and find it all quickly and easily. I am just so thrilled that we got to speak together today because, it's one of those things too. We can't live in isolation, especially isolated from other people who think the way we think. So if you're a solopreneur and you're someone who loves business and entrepreneurship and kind of choosing your own path, the last thing you should do is keep that to yourself. And maybe if your family's not into those same thoughts and hobbies and passions, if your group of friends really isn't into it either, then I'm glad you're part of this. I'm glad you're part of the show and that we can have these conversations together. I'm really picturing you, the listener, here at the table with us as we are just chit-chatting about all things life and balance and entrepreneurship and business. And I hope that you've had fun with us here today. Natalie, I've had a blast. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for being on the show and sharing your knowledge and inspiration with us.
Thank you so much for having me. And thank you, solopreneurs. And congratulations in advance.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining us, and I hope you enjoyed the show. Don't forget to subscribe to this podcast, and if you leave a review on iTunes, I promise I will read every single review. If you know someone who makes a full-time living from part-time work, and maybe this is you, please visit lifestylesolopreneur.com to nominate a guest or to nominate yourself. Because remember this, money doesn't buy happiness. But money in the hands of a happy person, there is no greater tool.
Today's episode was brought to you by the Get Shift Done program. It's a lifestyle-changing online class to help you define your business and lifestyle ambitions and to set goals in a way you've never experienced before. This class will 10x your daily productivity with methods that will blow your mind. And if you use a coupon code podcast, the class tuition is 99% off. Visit GetShiftDone.com to enroll today.